Vera Wang, Enrique Iglesias, Banana Republic, Zorro, just a few of the fragrances that I wore this week. So if you want to hear the rest of this weekly roundup of the fragrances that your boy Trey Scents wore this week, meet me on the other side of this intro and we're going to try to get through them. Hey, I'll see you in just a second. Sit tight, guys. I'm coming back. What's going on, everybody? You guessed it, man. It is your boy, Trey Scents. Listen, I hope everybody's had themselves a beautiful weekend, a wonderful weekend. I know I have. Peaceful, relaxing weekend. So, fragrances that I wore this week. Oh, before we get into this, please like, share, sub. It's free. Won't cost you a dime. Before we get into, yeah, I said that already. Well, nothing left to do but get into it. All right. And again, bear with me because I'm working off of my notebook. It's the only way I can keep up with it. So, all right, what we got here? Monday, simple. I didn't wear but one fragrance Monday. Received several compliments on this fragrance. And it is an oldie, tried and true throughout Frag Comp, and it is Vera Wang. It was just a Vera Wang kind of day. So I went with it. And as soon as I walked in to work, I got several compliments. Man, what is that you got on? What are you wearing? And I told them, Vera Wang for men. And this is a good one. This is a cheapie too, man. This is an inexpensive fragrance for you guys that like those cheapies like myself. This is one that you need to get in your collection. Pretty much a year-round type of scent. I do think it leans itself more to cooler weather. Not cold, but cooler. But you can definitely wear it year-round, and this is one of those date night bankers. I actually like this as much as I do Dolce & Gabbana, the one and the one EDP, but Vera Wang for men. That was my scent of Monday. Sunday, which was the 29th. Now we're going into Monday, the 30th. So what did I wear Monday, the 30th? From the house of Enrique Iglesias, and it is Deeply Yours. Now this fragrance, unlike the original Enrique Iglesias fragrance, which I think is Adrenaline, which is a monster performing fragrance, really, really good. This fragrance smells good, but it's not the best performer. It's a freshie. Deeply Yours is not a good name for this fragrance because Deeply Yours to me sends off vibes of romance and passion, and yeah, no, that's, you don't get romance and passion with this. You get a little bit of an ambroxany smell, a little bit of a fresh cucumber type of smell. Seems like to me they were trying to reach maybe towards the direction of a Coach Blue type of scent with this one. Not knocking this scent, I think it has its place. Don't buy this thinking you're going to get hours of longevity, hours of performance out of it, because you're not. What you're going to get is a great scent for what I did, which was sit in a recliner and watch TV till the TV started watching me. For those of you who don't live in the South, that means till I fell asleep, but nonetheless, great little fragrance. And this is one that you can spray on your clothes. Definitely an office friendly type of scent. Now don't get it twisted. Performance is not the best, but it does smell good. It does smell good, and it will get you some compliments. And as you see, there are the levels on it. So I've worn it. The levels are that low on it because you do have to spray pretty heavy with it. But nonetheless, you get it in material like this sweat hoodie material. Yeah, and it's there. It's there. It's there. It's definitely one of those I would grab right out of the shower. And if I got that phone call and say, hey, come through, it's definitely one I would grab, quick spritz, throw on. Again, it's not the strongest, the most masculine or woody or sexy or anything like that. Again, Deeply Yours is not the correct name for it, but it is a nice fragrance, and it's held its own since I sprayed it in the air. So from the house of Enrique Iglesias, it is Deeply Yours. I do like the scent. I do like the scent profile. It's just nothing out of the ordinary. And that's what I wore during the day, Monday, which would have been the 30th. And that night, as it started to cool off and it was very, very rainy here, I think my peeps out west got snow and ice, where we got rain. This one is simply called Emerge. And this is a parfum concentration. To my nose, This smells like Tom Ford Fabulous. I mean, that's just, when I'm feeling the urge to wear Tom Ford Fabulous, which I don't have a full bottle of, this is what I go to. This is what I pick up. And I have it in a roll-on oil as well, and they are spot on. I mean, yep. Emerge, and this is one of those I picked up at TJ Maxx for $8, $9 to $10, no box, just like you see it. Great bottle presentation. This is solid. I know Cheapo had one, but I think his was different because his juice was different, and he said his smelled like Dunhill Icon. This smells nothing like Dunhill Icon. So I'm wondering if one was the EDT and one was an EDP or something. I don't know, but all I know is this particular Emerge right here smells like Tom Ford, and it is a great wintertime fragrance, and it does perform well. Did not receive any compliments on it, but like I said, it was a very rainy, dreary Tuesday, so it didn't get much action. It was kind of dead at work, so that's that. And that was the 30th, which brings us to, that was Monday the 30th, which brings us to Tuesday the 31st. All right, what did I wear Tuesday the 31st? As I was just chilling around the house before work, Bodman Lights Out. This is what I wore, and you see I've almost emptied this bottle. This is a nice, spicy fragrance. That's the best way to put it. It's nice and it's spicy, and I know some of you are probably laughing because you don't want to wear a Bodman fragrance, and I get it. Leave it for the kids. But for those of you who are looking for a huge bottle for $7 or $8 that is gonna smell good on you, and honestly, you're gonna get compliments, check out the Bodman line. You can pick this up at Walmart, and some Dollar Generals have it. But nonetheless, it is a good smelling fragrance. Reminds me of something like Spice Bomb. It's a sweet, spicy, spice bombing 1 million type of scent. But Bodman Lights Out. And as you see, again, I've almost used this entire bottle because I wear fragrances like that when I'm going to wash my car, when I'm just running here or running there, and I don't want to spray on a more expensive juice. That's what I reach for. That's, to me, they come in handy. And again, I've worn it to work. I mean, and I get compliments. I remember my mom, it's been several years ago, I had to take my mom to the ER. My dad called me and said, I got your mom at the ER. Anyway, I went to the ER, and I had just, the time I was married, and we lived in a little apartment in Tuscumbia. Well, it wasn't a little, it was 3 bedroom. But anyway, around the corner from the hospital. So he's like, I got your mom at the hospital, yada, 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 woo, woo, woo. So I just grabbed something and sprayed on and ran out the door. I grabbed that, and nurses went crazy. The ER nurses went crazy. Every time they come in, ooh, somebody smells good. Ooh, somebody smells good. And it was Bodman Lights Out. I'm just simply saying that to say, boom, you never know. That's the point. You never know. Denzel, you never know. And that was Tuesday, the first part of the day. And that was the 31st. Again, cold, rainy day. So I reached off into my collection and pulled out something that I haven't worn in a while from the House of Banana Republic. It is Cypress and Cedar. And this is just a good, sweet smelling fragrance. Clean, something that you would expect from Banana Republic. It just says khaki chinos, Vans, and a white V-neck t-shirt. But it is something about it that is just cozy and charming and embracing, warm and inviting is what I get from this fragrance. Is it sexy? No, it's not. Is it one of those fragrances that's going to make you go, woo, man, somebody smells good? No, but it's just a pleasant fragrance that's going to leave you a pleasant scent trail, and people are going to like it, and they're going to like to smell it on you. Are they going to give you crazy reactions? No, I don't think so. Is it a solid fragrance and one that you should pull out and wear 4 seasons, winter, summer, spring, or fall? I think so. I think it has enough warmth and masculinity to wear it in the winter or the fall, and I think it has enough brightness and energy to wear it in the summer or the warmer months. Banana Republic, Cypress and Cedar. And I can just go ahead and sit that back on the shelf since it's right there. I said I could. Boom. And that was a rainy, dreary Tuesday in Alabama. And Wednesday was much the same. Very rainy and dreary. So what did I go with Wednesday, which would have been the first day of February? I went with a modern take on an oldie. And you're going to see the levels on this one as well. It is Azzaro Per Home Intense. And there's the levels on this little bottle. And I like this size bottle because this is all I need. And you see the levels. So I've worn this a few times, especially when it's cold. This is just a modern take on Azzaro Per Homme. It's a much more wearable fragrance than Azzaro Per Homme. I like Per Homme, but you have to be in the mood to wear Per Homme. Much like Polo Green, you have to be in the mood to wear that. And I like Polo Green. And it's a compliment getter if worn properly. No, you can't go 65 sprays on Polo Green. But if you have on a nice sweater, nice, maybe a nice turtleneck sweater, even in some corduroys and some nice shoes, and you spray on Polo Green and you gentleman that thing out, it is a good fragrance. And that's another thing. That's another video I need to do. And that video is how to dress your fragrances. How to dress your fragrances. I'm chuckling because I called Cheapo. Well, I didn't call him. I sent Cheapo a voice message the other day because we got iPhones and we can do that. He said, Cheap, I think I got an idea for my next video. And he said, what? He said, what you think? I said, I think I'm more entitled. 3 fragrances for you ugly people to wear. This is just a little joke. But anyway, Azzaro Per Homme Intense. Nice. When you spray it on, you get that old school fougere barbershop type of vibe, but then something comes underneath it and makes it sort of gourmandy, almost like a gingerbread cookie. At least that's what I pick up on. But at the same time, you're still staying masculine and classic, a classic man sense. In the house of Azzaro, it is Per Homme Intense, and that's what I wore Wednesday. Just one fragrance that day. Like I said, it was cold and rainy, so I didn't do much. That brings us to Thursday. Weather's getting a little bit better Thursday, but no, it wasn't either. It rained all day Thursday. So I retract that statement. It rained all day. So, from the house of Gianfranco Ferrer, it is La Umo, La Umo. And this is just a Bleu de Chanel clone, but I felt like wearing it because it was a rainy day, but this fragrance has some brightness to it. So I just thought it would balance out the mood because it rained, probably to about 7 or 8 o'clock Thursday, and I had to go get my hair cut. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna wear this. And lo and behold, when I get to the barbershop, my barber's always talking to me about fragrances, and he was talking about he bought Chanel at Bridge Street, which is an outdoor mall here that they have, really nice, pretty place in Huntsville, Alabama. He went and bought Chanel. It came with the 3.4 ounce, I think a 1 ounce, and then a smaller one. And then it had the aftershave and the shower gel, and came with the Chanel bag. I think he said he paid $120. He was very, very pleased with his purchase of Bleu de Chanel. And it just so happens I had this fragrance right here on. But again, I don't think I received any compliments. But again, rainy day, wasn't a lot of people around, but nonetheless, I wear fragrances for my own enjoyment as well. And this is one I definitely enjoyed. Pronounce this one more time. Gianfranco Ferrer Lumo. Nice Bleu de Chanel clone. Shout out to my boy JP for sending me that. I wouldn't have known anything about it. That brings us to Friday. Friday is when the weather broke. Still cool, but the rain and stuff subsided. And I had gotten myself a package in from a bed I won from my boy Brandon James. And it is from the house of Cremo, and it is spice and black vanilla. And this is a solid fragrance, guys. Very, very solid. Creamy, buttery, spicy goodness is what you get from Cremo's spice and black vanilla. I went out Friday evening, so I changed clothes. When I got back home, I changed back into my lay around the house shirt, which I had sprayed this on, and it was several hours later, and you could still smell it. You could still smell it. It wasn't faint. You could pick up on it. Now, it doesn't project like that off of skin, but again, this is one of those fragrances. And like I said, guys, if you get that call from Felicia to tell you to come on through, this is one of those fragrances that, It's going to smell good on you, and it's going to transfer to whatever material you lay on, and you're going to leave your scent everywhere. So Spice and Black Vanilla from Cremo. This gets compared to Spice Bomb, but I think Spice Bomb Extreme. I think Spice Bomb Extreme is a little bit better of a scent. This one is just a little too buttery, but I do like the fragrance. I think it smells good. And that buttery aspect that I'm talking about, I don't know what note it is, but it does move pretty quickly throughout the fragrance. And the dry down, they become very similar. I can detect the difference, but they're still very, very similar. That Cremo and Spice Bomb Extreme, that is. And for the evening, let's pronounce this one. And it's Et Libre d'Orange, True Lust. This one I like. I think this fragrance could be unisex. The best way to describe True Lust compared to the rest of my fragrances, and again, this is a Scentbird 8 mil, and it is just about empty. I got that much left. It's pretty. This is a pretty fragrance. It's smooth. It's very powdery, reminiscent to maybe Prada Black or something, anything that's a irisy type of fragrance. But nonetheless, this smells good. I was not satisfied with the performance on it, but the time that it did last, which was only about 4.5 to 5 hours on me, it smelled good, and I would get wafts of myself. Nice little scent here. If I found a bottle at a good price, I would purchase it, but I would not pay full retail or even discount retail unless I found somebody wanting to get rid of a bottle for, say, $40 or something. I would pick it up. Other than that, I'll just keep using my irisy fragrances like Prada Black and Prada Amber and fragrances like that, and get that powdery nuance from them. Nonetheless, it is a beautiful fragrance. It is very, very pretty. From the house of Et Libre d'Orange, True Lust. That is a lot to say. And that brings us to Saturday. So Friday would have been the 3rd, Thursday would have been the 2nd. So Thursday is the 2nd, Friday is the 3rd, which brings us to today, the 4th, which is Saturday. And again, just chilled for the most part. Took me a nice little nap, and I went with something simple, easy. Usher. And this Usher makes really good fragrances. They don't perform that well, but the scent profile is there. Like Usher Home, which I've raved about. I think it's a good little $15 fragrance. It's a good little $12 to $15 fragrance. I can't remember how much I paid for this one. This is a 100 ml bottle, so I'm sure it was more than 12. But nonetheless, it's nice. It's kind of pineapple-y, nothing like a Ventus, not a sweet pineapple, but you do pick up on a little hint of pineapple. But then you've got this woody, creamy nuance to it that is just nice. It's really nice. From the house of Usher, it is Usher. That's what I wore the first part of the day, and I decided to get out, run to one of my favorite stores. The cologne that they had was pretty overpriced. I went to a Burke's outlet, and it didn't have a lot, but what they had again was overpriced. I did see one gift set. I may check back in a week. I'm gonna keep my eye on, and maybe it'll go down in price and then I can get it at a steal. I think it was called Kenneth Cole Legacy, maybe, in like a light blue to clear bottle, which makes me wonder if it's trying to smell like Dolce Light Blue, but if it does, that's fine. The gift set was $22. I just didn't feel like paying. I just didn't feel like paying it, so I left it. And my scent of the day, those of you who are friends with me on Facebook already know, and Instagram and TikTok, is from the house of Dolce & Gabbana, the exclusive line, the exclusive edition, and it is Dolce & Gabbana The One, Luminous Nights. And I love this scent. This smells so good. Now, to this fragrance. Again, I went to Burke's, and there's a way I cut back through the country to get to Russellville, which was where this particular Burke's I was going to was, because I just happened to find some good deals there. So I like to go to that particular Burke's normally on my way to Jasper, Alabama, but this time I just was running in there. Just wanted to run in there and see if they had anything left left on clearance from Christmas. Stopped at a little gas station, and I did not think those floozies was gonna let me out of there. I didn't. They was sniffing your boy and hovering around. Walked by this one lady, she almost knocked me down, and then she stopped and said, "Damn." I was like, okay. She said, "Woo, you smell good." And she used a couple of more explicit words. I mean, she got her Luke Skywalker on in there. But she kept talking about how good you smell and told the cashier, "Girl, smell him." She said, "I do smell him." You're right. He does smell extremely good. And that fragrance that caused all this commotion, this one, Dolce & Gabbana Luminous Nights from the exclusive edition, the one Luminous Nights. And then of course she said, "It's expensive, it smells expensive, and it sounds expensive." I said, "It can be pricey." And I was trying to explain to her what it was. She said, "Well, my husband, he likes that cologne, that Savage. He wants that Savage." I said, "You mean Dior Sauvage?" "Yes." That one. She said, "But that stuff is $200. Tried explaining to her that she could get it online. He must want the elixir. And I'm just like, I just let it go. Got my drink and went on out of the store. But this little bad boy caused a commotion in the country today. From the house of Dolce & Gabbana, it is Luminous Nights from the exclusive edition. All right, guys, that's it. That is the weekly roundup. I think this is the 4th time we've done this. And that's what your boy wore this week. Any suggestions on what you think I should wear in this upcoming week? I think it's going to rain some, but it's going to be a lot warmer than what it was last week. But yeah, with that being said, you already know the drill. I love you all, and may God bless you all, man. And thank you for returning to the scene of the crime. It means so much, and you mean so much. So I'm gonna go. Until next time, guys, because I gotta edit this so you can see it. So until next time, guys, peace. Y'all take care.